Good evening. The time is 9 p.m. U.S. Central Time. This program is coming to you live from Chicago. And in the news at this hour, the city of Louisville, Kentucky, has agreed to pay $12 million to the family of Breonna Taylor and institute a series of police reforms to settle the family's wrongful death lawsuit. Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher, Taylor's family, and their attorneys announced the settlement in a joint press conference earlier today. Taylor, a 26-year-old emergency medical technician, was killed in her home by police on March 13th. The Department of Justice has launched a criminal investigation into the possibility that former National Security Advisor John Bolton unlawfully disclosed classified information in a memoir he published earlier this year, the New York Times has reported. Citing conversations with three people familiar with the matter, the Times said the Department of Justice has convened a grand jury which issued a subpoena for communications records from Simon & Schuster, the publisher of Bolton's book, The Room Where It Happened. The book was released in June. Bolton, who served for a time as President Trump's national security advisor, insists he has complied with all of the revisions requested by the White House in terms of potentially classified matters. Bolton's memoir presents a damning picture of Trump's White House. He wrote that the president only genuinely cares about his own re-election and asked leaders of Ukraine and China to help him win in November. Bolton also said Trump is woefully uninformed about basic matters of foreign policy and is obsessed with shaping media coverage of his presidency. Joe Biden's campaign has assembled a large legal team to take on election issues as the road to November continues to reveal new voting obstacles. Already there are worries about mismatched signatures on absentee ballots. In North Carolina, about 2% of the 10,000 ballots mailed in the earliest days of voting were rejected because of some issue, including signature problems. Voters in other states like Wisconsin are wary because some ballots there were tossed for similar reasons during primaries. In Ohio, a GOP-run state board has rejected a proposal to prepay postage for ballots, meaning citizens must provide their own postage stamps to mail in their ballots. Another police shooting, another swell of anger and protests. 8 people were arrested during demonstrations in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, after an officer there shot and killed a 27-year-old man on Sunday while responding to a domestic disturbance call. A 911 caller claimed her brother was getting aggressive with his mother and trying to break into her house. Body cam footage of the incident shows a man running from the house toward police officers wielding a knife. The district attorney's office there is investigating. Meanwhile, the police chief in Rochester, New York, has been fired in the aftermath of the March death of Daniel Prude, a black man. Prude died while in police custody. An investigation is ongoing. A federal appeals court panel has decided the Trump administration can end humanitarian protections for 300,000 immigrants from Sudan, Nicaragua, Haiti, and El Salvador. The form of humanitarian relief, known as Temporary Protected Status, or TPS, applies to people in the United States who would face extreme hardship if forced to return to their homelands. The Trump administration is critical of TPS and has long wanted to limit its scope. The court ruled that the Department of Homeland Security Secretary possesses full and unreviewable discretion when it comes to providing or denying TPS status. However, in Maryland, a federal judge has determined that acting DHS Secretary Chad Wolf is probably unlawfully serving in his role as it was an interim appointment, thus calling into question his authority to change the policies. Thereby, a hold has been put on the entire matter. Here is our nightly coronavirus update. More than 29 million people around the world have now been diagnosed with COVID-19, and the global death toll is about 925,000, only a few ominous steps away from 1 million. The full weight of the pandemic has also set the world back by decades in areas like global vaccine coverage, according to a new report from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. It has also pushed the extreme poverty rate up by an estimated 7% in a matter of months, with 37 million people falling into dire financial straits and another 68 million dipping below the poverty line in lower middle-income countries. Some countries are considering stricter prevention measures as the virus stubbornly hangs on, such as Israel, where a new round of intense lockdowns will take effect Friday. Here are the current virus numbers from Johns Hopkins University Medical Center. Total cases now in the United States, 6,591,000. That's up by approximately 45,000 from yesterday's number. Death toll now stands at just over 194,000, an increase of about 1,000 over yesterday's estimate. More news in just a moment.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
9:06 p.m. on Wall Street today. Upward movement, though modest for the most part. Dow Jones Industrial Average basically unchanged, up 2 points to close at 27,996. NASDAQ put in a stronger showing, gaining about 1.25%, up 134 to close at 11,190. And the S&P 500 finished at 3,401. That's plus 18 points. Now for the weather report. This year's hurricane season is on pace to be the most active of all time. The National Hurricane Center now has cataloged 4 named storms and 7 additional active storms in the Atlantic storm basin. Tropical storm Sally remains a hurricane headed for the Gulf Coast. It had been downgraded to a Category 1 storm, or I should say it has been now downgraded to a Category 1 storm with 85-mile-per-hour winds. That is a considerable reduction in wind strength over the past 24 hours. However, the greatest danger from the storm is posed by its slow movement, crawling along at just 2 miles per hour. That means it is going to drop enormous amounts of rain in a concentrated area for an extended period of time. Couple that with rising tides and wind, and it is a recipe for a major disaster. Sally's center is expected to continue moving slowly westward before hitting land tomorrow morning. Forecasters expected to run aground near the Mississippi-Alabama state line. Meanwhile, Tropical Storm Teddy is expected to strengthen to hurricane status sometime tonight or tomorrow. Still a bit early to predict a direction on that one. For Chicagoland, tonight partly cloudy with a low around 61. Tomorrow, Wednesday, nice day brewing with sunshine, high near 83. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, although so far no mention of rain in the forecast. Overnight low around 60. And then Thursday, cooler but still pleasant and mostly sunny, high of 65. Our current conditions under mostly cloudy skies: 74 at Midway Airport, 73 at the lakefront, relative humidity 50%, south winds at 7 miles per hour. Radar is all clear in our neck of the woods. The time is 9 minutes after 9 p.m. And once again, here at Radio City, we have 74 delightful degrees.
Live from Chicago, Variety Broadcast presents Radio Classics. Now, here's your host, Tom Edwards.
Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. Those days of soda and pretzels and beer. Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. Dust off the sun and moon and sing a song of cheer. Just fill your basket full of sandwiches and weenies. Then lock the house up, now you're set. And on the beach you'll see the girls in their bikinis. As cute as ever, but they never get 'em wet. Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. Those days of soda and pretzels and beer. Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. You'll wish that summer could always be here. Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. Those days of soda and pretzels and beer. Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. Dust off the sun and moon and sing a song of cheer. Don't have to tell a girl and fella about a drive-in or some romantic movie scene. Why, from the moment that those lovers start arriving, you'll see more kissing in the cars than on the screen. Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. Those days of soda and pretzels and beer. Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. You'll wish that summer could always be here. You'll wish that summer could always be here. You'll wish that summer could always be here.
Starting us off, the fine voice of Nat King Cole on Radio Classics for a Tuesday evening, 9:12 p.m. in the beautiful windy city of Chicago. Tom Edwards, your host for the most popular music on the blank. I told you it was your assignment to think of a word to plug in there, because when I say coast, it rhymes, but we don't really have a coast. They refer to Lake Michigan as the shore, and that doesn't rhyme. You got to keep working on that and help me out. Tom Edwards, your host for the most popular music on the coast. We'll stick with that for the moment. Anyway, how are you? I'm glad to see you. We have some new friends who are joining us on the chat board. That's great. And I was just about to say, let's all pitch in and see if we can help Celeste get her technical problem straightened out. But now she types on the message that she's got it straightened out. Good, good, good. Thank you for letting us know. And I'm glad it worked out okay for you. Well, we have a good show tonight. We have our usual world-famous trivia game. And for any newcomers, why, we welcome your participation. You are joining the panel of the best game show contestants in all of cyberspace. Not since Hollywood Squares, not since To Tell the Truth, not since Groucho Marx, not since What's My Line has there been a better assemblage of contestants. And that's you, okay? You're a good bunch. I am glad you're here. You can probably hear sirens off in the background. I've got my windows open here in my little home studio, and you know, in a big city like this, we hear sirens a lot, especially in my neighborhood. I'm right near Lakeshore Drive, and there's always something going on. But in these days of great turbulence, the political difficulties, thanks to the crazy man in the Oval Office, why, you know, things are really upset these days, and the sirens are much, much more frequent in our fair city, and I know that holds true in a number of cities around the country. So it's been a nervous time, but that's one of the reasons we cooked up this little broadcast. I thought it might be a good way to help take our mind off of difficulties, and that's what the game is all about. We will get that started, in fact, in just a moment. Let's take a quick break and hear from one of our sponsors.
Hey, Rosie.
Hi, swingers. How was the big dance?
It's not me. Want to dance, Rosie?
Oh, good, a new step.
Get something quick.
I've got something quicker. Bounty. It gets spills before they get away.
That was fast.
Bounty's the quicker picker-upper. Shuffle over here. See how much faster Bounty soaks up liquid? The other towel pushes it along and lets it get away.
Bounty's quicker, all right.
And tough. Watch this. Now, even with cleanser, you can scrub with Bounty.
Look at that. Bounty is tough.
And fast.
Always a quick step ahead. Bounty's the quicker picker-upper. Get spills before they get away.
All right, now let me check quickly with my sound engineer, my assistant here in the control room, my Secretary General, Mr. J. Cat Rockefeller. Everything in readiness for the great trivia game, Rocky? Okay. Yes, I will tell them. I will tell them. Rocky says to please remember to mail him some treats. His favorites are the Temptation salmon flavor. Second choice is tuna if they have run out of salmon. See? Okay, now they'll remember. He gets online and he orders, from PetSmart. I find that my American Express card has been taken out of my wallet, and then I get a big bill for $300 or $400. 500 pounds of these things arrive in the lobby downstairs. With the shipping, that adds up. But, he's a good little guy, so it's worth it. All right, now off to the races as far as the trivia game. Here we go. This is how we do it. We play for Monopoly money, and whoever the most skillful and knowledgeable contestant is by the end of the broadcast who has saved up the most Monopoly dollars wins a fabulous grand prize. And tonight, yes, fabulous it is. The second of the Big Blue properties, we are giving away Boardwalk. How about that? The granddaddy. That'll look fine in your real estate portfolio. Now, please remember, no search engines on your honor. No Google, no Bing, no Siri, no Alexa. You can ask your hubby or your wifey poo or your puppy dog or your kitty cat. That's fine, but no electronic players are welcome in the game. Once in a while, we do multi-part questions, so if one of those comes along, please be sure to answer all of it. Otherwise, we can't count your entry. Got all of that? Okay, now that the rules are out of the way, let's get to the fun part. Crank up the old trivia machine, and they're off. $25 to start us out tonight. Our category is history. This document was a sort of constitution, a written guarantee of rights demanded by a group of noblemen in England. Under threat of rebellion, they forced King John into signing it in the year 1215. What document are we talking about? Now, no penalty for wrong answers, so if you wish to take a guess, why, do that. $25, history the category. We're looking for the name of an important document demanded by a group of noblemen in England. They forced King John into signing it in the year 1215. I see we have some correct answers on the board already. I told you this was a wonderful gang of trivia players. Now, let's enjoy the music of Christopher Cross. You wanna? All right. That's the name of it. All right.
Oh
Well, all right then. Mr. Christopher Cross. That's a good one. That's one that transports me right back to the early 1980s. Good too. 22 minutes past 9 p.m. on a lovely Tuesday night. At Radio Classics, we have a winner for round one in our trivia game, and I'll tell you all about it in just a moment.
No little cinnamon gum freshens breath longer than Big Red.
So kiss a little longer, stay close a little longer, hold tight a little longer, longer with Big Red. That Big Red freshness lasts right through it. Your fresh breath goes on and on. While you chew it, say goodbye a little longer, make it last a little longer. Give your breath long-lasting freshness with Big Red.
We had multiple correct answers from our trivia panelists, but the fastest fingers, the first one on the board with a correct answer. Audience, nice round of applause for Ronnie. I'm assuming from that spelling that Ronnie is a lady, R-O-N-N-I. Doesn't say on the board, I'm not sure. But and you don't have to tell us, but it reminds me of two little newborn babies in the nursery. And one says to the other, "Are you a boy or a girl?" And the little baby on the right says, "Well, I'm not sure. I'll look." So she lifts up her booties. Oh, I gave the punchline away, you dummy. She lifted up the blanket. Doggone it. She lifted up the blanket and she says, "I'm a girl." And the other baby says, "Oh, how do you know?" She says, "Pink booties." I tripped over my own punchline. Doggone it. All right, let's get out of this ditch. Oh, it's Veronica. Of course, Ronnie. Oh, it's my Facebook friend, Veronica. Nickname Ronnie. Welcome. Glad to see you. Okay, let's get the next round of trivia going. Ronnie has pink booties on. All right, $20 this time. Our category is sweets and treats. All right, here's your clue. This is a tagline from an old commercial of many moons ago. Tell me what sweet or treat we're talking about. Here we go. Orange stars, yellow moons, green clovers, pink hearts. What product are we talking about? Now, imagine that was done with a slight Irish lilt. It's supposed to be. My Irish accent is not the best, so use your imagination. Orange stars, yellow moons, green clovers, and pink hearts. First correct answer on the board wins $20 Monopoly dollars. Give it a shot, and good luck. 9:24 p.m., and Neil Diamond is next. One of his best, Sweet Caroline.
Where it began, I can't begin to knowing, but then I know it's growing strong. Wasn't the spring, and spring became the summer. Who'd have believed you'd come along? Hand, touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Don't seem so lonely. We fill it up with only two. And when I hurt, hurting runs off my shoulders. How can I hurt when holding you? Warm, touching warm, reaching out,
I see you tapping your foot, singing along there. One of the most popular karaoke tunes, Neil Diamond, Sweet Caroline. Well, let's see. After messing up that punchline and driving off in a ditch, what can I do that's a little bit safer? Something with a script to read from so I don't have to ad-lib, huh?
Word of the day.
That's a good idea. We'll do the word of the day from Merriam-Webster, the good dictionary people at m-w.com. Our word today is heyday, H-E-Y-D-A-Y. Definition, the period of one's greatest popularity, vigor, or prosperity. I'm all for that vigor and prosperity, yes indeed. In its early appearance in the English language in the 16th century, heyday was used as an interjection that expressed elation or wonder, similar to our word hey. Like people would say, heyday, would you look at that yon enormous fire on yon building? Heyday. But by the 18th century, it had evolved more into the way we use it now, which of course means when somebody is extremely popular, that kind of thing. Like in the early 60s and 70s, the Beatles were in their heyday and sold millions of records. Well, heyday, what do you know about that? That's our word of the day from Merriam-Webster, the dictionary people, at m-w.com. We'll be right back to see how the trivia game is going. Don't go away.
See the USA in your Chevrolet. America's asking you to call. Drive your Chevrolet through the USA. America's the greatest land of all. On a highway or a road along a levee. Performance is sweeter, nothing can beat her. Life is completer in a Chevy. So make a date today to see the USA. See it in your Chevrolet. See the USA in your Chevrolet. The Rockies way out west are calling you. Drive your Chevrolet through the USA, where fields of golden wheat pass and review. Whether traveling light or with a load that's heavy. Performance is sweeter, nothing can beat her. Life is completer in a Chevy. So make a date today to see the USA and see it in your Chevrolet.
No offense, Dinah, but I believe I would really rather have a Buick. 9:30, the halfway point already. Can you hear those sirens? You know what? Now, the microphone that I have here on my studio setup has what is known in the business as a cardioid pattern. Now, there's another word for the day, cardioid, as in the Latin word for heart, because the electronic pattern that the microphone uses is like heart-shaped, and it is supposed to cancel out sound off to the sides and behind it. So maybe you can't hear it, but I don't know what's going on out there tonight, but we are surrounded by sirens. Somebody called the cops on me, I guess. There's some crazy man who's doing a radio program in the next apartment, and he's carrying on at the top of his lungs about game shows. He thinks he's on What's My Line. Go in and get him before he hurts somebody. That's what it's all about. I knew it. I knew it. Let's see now. Where does the trivia game stand? We have another winner on the board. Hip, hip, hurrah for Ronnie, who has 2 in a row. Nicely done. Okay, Ronnie picked up another $20. Lucky Charms cereal was the answer to our sweets and treats category. Orange stars, yellow moons, green clovers, and all that jazz. Good job. So that means Ronnie is the one to beat now. $45 lone entry on the scoreboard. Come on, everybody. You got some catching up to do. How about Name That Tune? Maybe we can get you on the board with this one. $25 now. This one is not a hit for the Beatles, but it is a hit for another sort of fabulous foursome of the 1960s. There's a little bit of a clue for you. Now, please remember, as with all Name That tunes, it's a 2-part question, so please include both singer and song in order for your answer to be counted, okay? First $25, or excuse me, first correct answer on the board wins 25 Monopoly dollars. Turn up your volume just a little bit. Here comes your audio clue.
Name that tune.
Disappointment haunted all my dreams. Then I saw her face.
And now, here's more of Radio Classics with your host, Tom Edwards.
And when I see the sign that points one way, the lot we used to pass by every day, just walk away, Renee. You won't see me following you back home. The empty sidewalks on my block are not the same. You're not to blame. From deep inside the tears that I'm forced to cry, from deep inside the pain I chose to hide. Just walk away, Renee. You won't see me following you back home. Now as the rain beats down upon my weary eyes, for me it cries. Just walk away, Renee. You won't see me follow you back home. Now as the rain beats down upon my weary eyes, for me it cries. Your name and mine inside our heart upon our wall still finds a way to haunt me, though they're so small. Just walk away, Renee. You won't see me follow you back home. The empty sidewalk on my block are not the same. You're not to blame.
Can you guess who is performing that one? That's a goodie. That was originally done, now let me think, by a group called Left Bank. Yeah, that's who did the original. Then Eric Carmen did a nice cover version of that some years later. Remember Eric Carmen, who did All By Myself? And then this one came from a live concert performance not that long ago, maybe 6 or 8 years ago. Those are the Cowsills. Remember them? Yeah, the family group who performed back in the 1960s. Their real big hit that you might remember was called The Rain, the Park, and Other Things, about the flower girl in the rain. I love the flower girl. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Yeah, the Cowsills singing Walk Away, Renee. Well, you didn't tune in tonight to hear me sing, did you? You tuned in to hear some good music and play our trivia game. We have a winner on the board, round 3, the Name That Tune. I will tell you about that in just a moment.
Frank Sinatra and Rosemary Clooney for 3 new lines of Ford. There's a big, wide, wonderful world of new Fords.
Newly proportioned for you, Fords.
A beautiful, wonderful new world of Fords.
First, the new Ford line.
Live a wondrous new life in the Fords of a lifetime. The finest new Fords of a lifetime. The beautiful, wonderful new 60 Fords. The new size Ford, the Falcon.
Falcon. The new size Ford Falcon, you'll find that the new size Ford Falcon's the easiest car in the wide world to own.
And the Thunderbird.
Thunderbird, finer
Just to find cars the last word. In wish it were mine cars, the dream car of the wonderful new world of Ford.
See them at your Ford dealer now.
Makes me want to run right out and buy one, boy. A 1964. And when those were new, you would have heard Rosemary Clooney and Frank Sinatra on the radio, wouldn't you? All right. Hooray, hurrah. This time, a round of applause for Charlotte. Good job. A slight spelling error in that entry, but just FYI, a couple of weeks ago we voted as a group to do away with any spelling requirements. As long as it's reasonably close and we can make it out, why, that's good enough. So the Monkees, I'm a Believer. Exactly right. That's our Name That Tune question. Charlotte is on the board now with $25. Ronnie's still in the lead with 45. We'll have another question coming up. But let's play that Name That Tune, shall we? Here they are, the Monkees.
I thought love was only true in fairy tales, and for someone else, but not for me. Our love was out to get me, that's the way it seemed. Disappointment haunted all my dreams. Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. I thought love was more or less a given thing. Seems the more I gave, the less I got. What's the use in trying? All you get is pain. When I needed sunshine, I got rain. Oh, then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. Love was out to get me. No, that's the way it seemed. Disappointment haunted all my dreams. Oh, then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. Yes, I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. Said I'm a believer,
Well, can you believe that? Huh? Those are the Monkees, of course, on Radio Classics. 9:41 in the evening, 19 minutes before 10 o'clock. Congrats again to Carlotta for hitting the trivia answer correctly on that one. So again, our scoreboard looks like this. Ronnie is first with $45. Carlotta second with $25. Now, let's look back in time. You want to? Open your history books to the 15th of September as we look back at this date in history. On this date in 1978, boxer Muhammad Ali defeated Leon Spinks at the Louisiana Superdome in New Orleans, which unfortunately probably is going to be underwater in the next few hours. Don't want to get all distracted on that, but can you believe it? Another hurricane for Louisiana? Gosh, what a shame. Anyway, on this date, 1978, at the Superdome in New Orleans, boxer Muhammad Ali won his third heavyweight title. 2008, on this date, the venerable Wall Street brokerage firm Lehman Brothers sought Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the aftermath of the Great Recession. 1916, the first time tanks were ever used in battle the Battle of the Somme, the British offensive against the Germans during World War I. 1963, a dark date today. 4 black school children, teen and preteen girls, were killed in that Birmingham church bombing. Yes, this was the day, September 15th, 1963. Bomb exploded during Sunday morning services at the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham. 4 youngsters were killed: Addie Mae Collins, Cynthia Wesley, Carol Robertson, all of them 14 years of age, and Carol Denise McNair, 11. When later in the evening, thousands of protesters assembled at the crime scene to mourn and protest, Alabama Governor George Wallace sicked the police and state troopers on them, and they killed 2 more. On this date in 1890, Agatha Christie, the great mystery writer, was born. 1954, famous skirt scene in the movie was filmed with Marilyn Monroe, and of course it gave rise to many still pictures of the same thing, her standing near what was an electric fan or something to make this special effect, her skirt blowing up. Well, her husband at the time, Joe DiMaggio, did not like it one little bit. He thought it was exhibitionist. That was one of the issues that fueled their divorce, the Marilyn Monroe skirt blowing in the wind. Joe said, Famous birthdays today. Marco Polo, Italian explorer. If I say Marco, you say, let me hear you. That's right, in the swimming pool. You know that game? They blindfold one kid and he yells out Marco, and then all the other kids have to answer Polo, and that's how he finds him and tags him. Somebody else becomes it. Anyway, he was born in Venice on this date in the year 1254. James Fenimore Cooper, the first major American novelist, born today, 1789. William Howard Taft, 27th U.S. President, born 1857. Let's see, who else? Country and Western musician Roy Acuff, 1903. The late actress Fay Wray, as in Climb the Empire State Building as King Kong is chasing her, born 1907. The late comedian Nipsey Russell, born 1918. A lot of famous birthdays today. The late Jackie Cooper, born 1922. Another late comedian, Norm Crosby, 1927. Oliver Stone, American film director, is celebrating number 74 today. Actor Tommy Lee Jones, also number 74. And finally, the Prince Harry, that's Henry Charles Albert David Windsor, 5th in line to the British throne. He's celebrating number 36 today. How are we doing on the trivia game? Let's see. We got caught up as far as the scoreboard. We got all the questions answered and revealed up till now. So it's time for a new question. All right, we'll do that right after this.
It's new. It's the newest spearmint.
The coolest spearmint.
New Beech Nut Frosty Mint Gum.
The chilliest.
Most refreshingest. New Beech Nut Frosty Mint Gum. The truest spearmint flavor that starts lively. Spearmint flavor that stays lively. The flavors in it. The flavors on it.
In each minty green swirl.
You can taste the added flavor. You can see the added flavor.
In each flavorful frosty green mint swirl.
It's the newest, coolest, mintiest flavor ever put in one stick of gum.
From Beech Nut.
New Beech Nut Frosty Mint Gum.
More flavor, to choose. More flavors to choose. The flavor starts lively. The flavor stays lively. By Beech Nut. By Beech Nut. By gum.
Try Beech Nut Frosty Mint Gum.
Now that we're back in the present day, after our look back in history, now Tuesday the 15th of September, according to the website nationaltoday.com, it is Get Ready Day. Get ready for what? It doesn't say. But it is also National Linguine Day. Well, there, you see, get ready to have linguine for dinner. I like linguine, do you? I like all kinds of Italian food, as long as you leave out the garlic. Oh, please. and it's very hard to get people to do that. My goodness, I don't want to get started on that. 9:47 p.m. And it's time for another trivia question, okay? What is today and how much garlic is in your linguine? That's the trivia question. Just kidding. Our category this time is TV trivia, all right? A $25 question. One of the regular skits on Jackie Gleason's television show was him having a conversation and pouring a drink for Crazy Guggenheim. What was the name of Gleason's character during those skits? All right, $25 TV trivia is the category. One of the regular skits on the old Jackie Gleason television show was him having a conversation and pouring a drink for Crazy Guggenheim. That was the other guy. What was the name of Gleason's character during those skits? If you know or think you know, type your answer on the board now.
Always follows me around. When you're close to me, you will hear it. It's the sound that lovers hear when they discover there could be no other for their love. It's my happy heart you hear, singing loud and singing clear, and it's all because you're near me, my love. Take my happy heart away, let me love you night and day. In your arms I wanna stay, oh my love. Feeling more and more like I've never felt before. You have changed my life so completely. Music fills my soul now. I've lost all control now. I'm not half, I'm whole now with your love. It's my happy heart you hear, singing loud and singing clear, and it's all because you're near me, my love. Take my happy heart away, let me love you night and day. In your arms I wanna stay, oh my love. La 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 la
And there we have the voice of Andy Williams, A Happy Heart, on FM 105.5 WGUL. There's somebody who brought back some happy memories. That was one of my gigs in the radio business on the west coast of Florida. And I kind of thought that might be who's behind that nickname with the first name Kathy, a fellow alum from that radio station. Welcome. Glad to have you aboard. Funny thing about those days of playing nostalgic music, I did a gig on both the East Coast and the West Coast of Florida when that particular syndicated format package was popular. It was called The Music of Your Life. And there were lots of stations around the country doing that at the time. One in West Palm Beach that I worked at, and another one, as I say, in the Tampa market. And back then, I was in my mid to late 20s. But I studied up on it, and I copied very carefully some older buddies in the business, some older men who I admired and kind of learned from, mentors, you know. other fellows with a lot of experience, many years in the business, one in particular at a station in West Palm Beach. This was all his music from his era. And I just listened to his commentary very carefully and kind of copied the best parts of his style. And so therefore, when I was on the air doing this, everybody thought they were hearing a 55-year-old man. And I would go and do like remote broadcasts and so forth. And you know how you go out with a mobile microphone equipment and do a grand opening of a supermarket, that kind of thing. People would run up and say, "Where's Tom Edwards? Where's Tom Edwards?" Well, that's me. "Oh, no, you're just a kid. It can't be." Yes, it was true. And now here I am. I have grown into that persona. Not only grown into it, but past it by a few years. You've heard of pushing 60? Yeah. I've been knocked to the ground, and now 60 is dragging me along. 9:53 p.m. in the evening. Let's see, where do we stand on the trivia game? No winner yet. No winner. I'll give you another 30 or 60 seconds or so to think about it. We'll take a commercial break. Now, what we're looking for, on the old Jackie Gleason show, 1960s, he had a regular skit that he did. There was one guy who did the part called Crazy Guggenheim. He was the customer, and he would come out, and Gleason would pour him drinks, and they'd tell jokes and silly stuff. What was the name of Gleason's character during that skit? Think about it. You got about 1 minute.
For 15 cents, a nickel and a dime at Burger Chef. You eat better every time, 'cause a nickel and a dime will get French fried potatoes, crisp and fresh, or the greatest 15-cent hamburger yet. Yes, it will at Burger Chef. A nickel and a dime will get French fried potatoes, crisp and fresh, or the greatest 15-cent hamburger yet.
Yes, friends, a nickel and a dime will buy you the best meal ever. A fresh, juicy burger and French fried potatoes. Stop in for fast service at our inside dining room or use our new convenient drive-up window.
Eat at Burger Chef for a nickel and a dime.
That is what in the business is called a donut commercial. The music around it, and then you put the announcer's part at the hole in the middle. Glad to know I still haven't lost my touch. Well, you lost your chance, though, with Jackie Gleason. Time's up. The answer was Joe the Bartender. I thought somebody would get that one. Joe the Bartender was the gag bit that he played with the other guy, Crazy Guggenheim. See if you do better on this one, all right? Wind up the old trivia machine, $25. Recent history is the category, recent American history. Lyndon Johnson gave a gift to Caroline Kennedy when she was a little girl during her father's presidency. The name of the pet was Macaroni. What kind of an animal was this pet? All right, $25. Lyndon Johnson gave this as a gift to Caroline Kennedy when she was a little girl during her father's presidency. The name of the pet was Macaroni. Tell me what kind of animal he was.
When we kiss, pretty miss, I'm in ecstasy. See, 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 see. Katerina. Oh, oh, oh. But when we kiss, pretty miss, are you thinking of me? Are you thinking of me? Katerina. Ha, ha, ha. Just how long is the list of the lips you kiss? Oh, how happy my heart would be if I knew that you loved just me. Say it's true, say you do, Katerina, Katerina. Oh, oh, oh. When we we kiss, pretty miss, I'm an ecstasy. Katerina, oh, oh, oh. But when we kiss, pretty miss, are you thinking of me? Katerina, ha, ha, ha. Just how long is the list of the lips you kiss? Oh, how happy my heart would be if I knew that you loved just me. Say it's true. Say it's true. Say you do. Say you do. Katerina.
Mr. C. Perry Como singing about Katerina on Radio Classics. 9:58 p.m. Well, that's going to do it for me. Going to head on out of here. Listen, I want to thank you for tuning in. I have enjoyed it as always. Now, let's settle up the trivia game, shall we? Good idea. Maestro, can we have the closing theme song, please? And a 1, and a 2. All right, now this is how our scoreboard looks. Ronnie is leading with 45, and then Kathy won the last question, the history question. We had several correct answers on that one, but Kathy had the fastest typing fingers. Yes, the Lyndon Johnson gift to Caroline Kennedy, macaroni, was a pony. Excellent. Now, a round of applause for all of our trivia contestants. You all done good. Nice job. And let's see. So I said the scoreboard was looking like this. Carlotta and Kathy tied second place, $25 apiece. Nice job. Ronnie is our grand prize winner tonight with $45. And that is enough to take home the grand prize, the Big Blue property, the Boardwalk. Let's put that on the screen for Ronnie right now. Okay. Good job. There. Now that's on the screen for you. Now, I'm going to head out, but thanks for tuning in. And if you want to share the program, alert your friends that we are here, why, you'll notice that we have a push button now on the website so you can share on Facebook. That's one way to do it. Or if you want to just tell folks in person, why, have them click up tomedwards.info, and that'll bring them right here. We do this Monday through Friday, starting at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, 8 Mountain, and 7 Pacific. All right, now please keep your mask on whenever you go out for any errand. I'm concerned about your safety. And listen to the medical experts. Don't listen to the crazy man in the Oval Office. Keep yourself safe, all right? I will talk to you tomorrow night. Tom Edwards signing off. All the best to you.